All right, we are live on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight for this very special broadcast. Before we get started, let me make sure that the notification has gone out. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm a bit excited tonight, to be honest with you. I feel pretty good, and I'm hoping by the end of this show, each and every one of you will feel good too, because that's what it's all about over here in my neck of the woods. The YouTube notification has gone out, and let me check out the back end of YouTube to make sure that that is rolling smoothly. Hey, American Dream 1.5, welcome to the show. I saw you pop in the chat before we went live. The back end of YouTube is rolling well, and as I mentioned, again, we are simulcasting live on Facebook as well. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Before we went live, the back end of YouTube is rolling well. Okay, Facebook looks good. Again, we are simulcasting live also on Facebook. Great. And before we get further into it, let me pay a quick special props to this channel sponsor. That's none other than the great Troy Brewer. He is the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. If you'd like to find out more information about the DCN, go below the description about a third of the way down, and there are a couple links there that you can check out. And when Troy and I finish figuring out what type of bumper we're going to put out here for the future to kind of streamline the process a bit more at the beginning of these shows, then we'll change it up a bit. For now, just go below the description about a third of the way down, and you'll see both links there. All right. Good evening, everyone. Good Thursday evening. It is Thursday, March 18th, 2021. 9:13 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 6:13 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time here in my neck of the woods in Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area. Let's just get right to it here, folks. I don't plan on being on too terribly long. I've got a bunch of things to talk about, but I don't think it's going to take a lot of time. And I really want to keep this show to hopefully under an hour, so that way people on the replay can get the information quick and go enjoy some more fun and entertaining things, right? Anyway, let me check out the chat on YouTube first. And if you are chatting on Facebook, I'll periodically check on that end as well. Hello, American Dream. Hello, Queen Helen Casey. She says, I am here. Queen says, hello, Dream. Dream says, hi, Coach. And Dream says, hi, Miss Queen. All right. So let's just get right to it. The topic of this stream is my past enemies have become my closest friends. Thank you, JB Gunner TV. One more time. My past enemies have become my closest friends. Thank you, JD Gunner TV. Why did you? That's JB. Queen, don't ban JB Gunner. This show's about him. That's JB Gunner. Queen, don't ban JB Gunner. The title of the stream is about him. Let me go and just make sure that is the real him. That is the real him. JB, you're unbanned. Queen didn't know. Well, Queen, I mean, you have the right to not like anyone, but you haven't heard the entire story yet. So I would hope that, you would give it a chance to hear the story. You don't have to like everyone. It's impossible for everyone to get along on everyone's channel. But that's just the way it goes. Yeah, so your Gunner Gaming is working as well? Yeah, that's JB. Don't ban him. Please don't ban him. Yeah, that's the real Gunner Gaming. Yeah. Yeah, hey, Queen, sometimes in life, things happen. Revelations happen, right? I'm sure you believe in God. Many of you do. I believe in revelations. Do you? I really do. This is definitely a revelation, right? Wouldn't you say, JB? 8-Ball Jack, don't put words in my mouth. Just because you were on that stream, don't put words in my mouth, guys. See, this is what the court of public opinion does. They like to put words in people's mouths. All right, 8-Ball Jack, listen, I'm going to remove that. If you mention that one more time, 8-Ball Jack, I will ban you. Is that clear, bro? 8-Ball Jack, I'm going to give you literally another 30 seconds. I understand, Queen. Lots of people have done things out here, and you got to understand. Things happen. Look, folks, I got to make it very clear here. I love all of you, including all my mods. And I want to keep you all around, and nothing's going to happen. But please, let me run my channel the way I want to run my channel. Respectful. If anyone disrespects anyone here, Queen, that includes JB, that includes myself, that includes American Dream, or anyone else, we'll do the right thing. But let me ask you this, Queen and everyone else. Do you know what a revelation is? Have you heard of the book of Revelations? Or Revelation? Do you folks believe in God? I do. I mean, I know everyone doesn't believe in God, but most people do, right? Let the court of public opinion talk, and I'll just run my show and share my thoughts. You folks can sit there and predict what you think is on my mind or what you think happened. For those of you that have been following me for a while, know that I've always been about forgiveness. And in the past, I've shared a story I'm going to share again with you here to start off the show tonight that will explain a lot about this how I handled these things before I came out here on YouTube 4 years ago as a full-time creator. I've kind of mentioned this topic before in the past. It's been a long time, but I want to sum it up in one big package here tonight and put a nice big bow on top of it. In my life, everyone that's become a close friend of mine was always my worst enemy to begin. Why does that happen? Why has that happened to me, and why do I feel that happens with everyone? Because typically what happens when you're beefing with someone, it's because you actually like each other and you respect each other, but you haven't figured that out yet, right? Why would anyone waste any time on someone if they weren't interesting to them in some way, shape, or form, right? One story that stands out in my life was when I was working in the retail management and retail corporate world, when I was working as a store manager for a company, an office supply company. And I remember that we just lost one of our key carrying supervisors. Each store of my size would typically have a store manager, 2 assistant managers, and 1 key carrying supervisor. That took a lot of the load off of the store manager and assistant managers, and it allowed us to have days off or every other weekends off. If we had a key carrying supervisor that could open the store 5 days a week during different times, it allowed more flexibility, right? I'll get to the chat in a bit. Keep the comments coming, but I want to go through my story first. It's been a while since I shared this. And we lost a key carrying supervisor, and at that point, there wasn't an abundance of qualified people that could fill that role, especially promoting internally. Typically, stores would promote key carrying supervisors internally within the same location. So there was this one guy. His name is Jeremy. And Jeremy was hired. He had been a part of the store, part of the company for about a year or so. And Jeremy was a bit of a goofball. He would talk a lot of smack playfully, right? He would flirt with the girls. He would always flirt with one of the girls back at the copy center because she was a cute lady, and I was friends with her. But I've never been the kind of guy that mixes business with pleasure. But he would flirt with her, right? And he did good work. This guy did good work. He was a stocker, meaning that he would stock the shelves. If we needed a carry out for a heavy item, we'd call him to carry out the items of the customer to the car, etc. Right? So when it came time to promotion, I was like, my district manager came to me and said, "Do you have somebody ready for promotion?" And I said, "Well, give me a couple days. I'm figuring that out. I'm just, figuring out who I feel is ready for the promotion." And he's like, "Okay, right?" And I thought about it. I'm like, there was nobody really qualified for the job. There was nobody really qualified for the job. The only person that was remotely qualified was this Jeremy guy, because he had great work ethic. He had great work ethic, which is what I'm trying to say, but he was a big goofball. And I didn't think his personal maturity was good enough or ready for management, right? Or even entry-level management, like a key carrying supervisor, one step below assistant store manager, and I was a store manager. When the district manager called me back, I said, "You know what? I'm going to give this guy a chance." Because if I was in his shoes, I would hope that somebody would do the same thing for me. When my district manager called me back, he said, "Do you have somebody ready?" Elias, my full name, they call me Elias. Some people call me Eli. He called me Elias, right? I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Jeremy." He's like, "Are you kidding me, Elias?" And I said, No, sir. I'm not kidding you. Do you think he's really ready for this? He's kind of a goofball, don't you think? I said, "Sir, yes, he is a goofball, but his work ethic is impeccable, and I think he's coachable, and I think he would make a great supervisor. He does his work. Sir, we have nobody else right now. We're struggling to hire good people, as you know that, right? Are you willing to put your name on the line for him?" I said, "Absolutely, sir." "Okay. Get him trained, and we'll bring him his keys within a few days." Great. I walk out to the floor. He was working that day. I said, "Congratulations, Jeremy. You're the next key carrying supervisor, the fourth key carrier in the building." He's like, "What? Dude, I thought you didn't like me." I said, "No, dude. It's not that I don't like you. You goof around a lot, but your work ethic is great. Do you think you can handle this, man? I put my name on the line for you with the district manager." I said, "Dude, I won't let you down. I appreciate the offer. Yes, I'm a goofball, but I just like to enjoy life." Right then and there, I knew this guy was going to make it, right? Well, to make a long story short, he got his keys, and I ended up leaving the company for a better opportunity. And if we fast forward later on down the road, he ended up getting promoted to assistant manager. And then I believe he ended up moving to another company and getting hired as a store manager. And he worked his way up the ranks and learned how to run a business. Because when you get promoted to a management position at any job, retail or any other job, you learn how to run a business. After that point, I became good friends with this guy. Before, I couldn't stand him. Until it came time for promotion, and I had to dig deep and see who's really ready and who's a hard worker. Despite the fact that they're a bit of a goofball, I thought of him. Let me tell you where Jeremy is at today. That woman that he hit on at the copy center, okay, he was actually dating her, and we didn't even know that. He kept it quiet. I found out about it after I left the company. He told me. We became good friends. He was dating her, proposed to her, ended up marrying her, and knocked her up on the wedding night. And here we are, almost 15 years later, and he's still happily married. They have one daughter, and she's a teenager. Holy shit! Are you kidding me, dude? God bless you, man. God bless you, man. Wow. I'm at a loss for words, JB. I'm at a loss for words, JB. Thank you for the $50 super chat, man. $49.99 from the iPhone. JB, thank you for the $5. I was going to get to that after the story. Thank you for the $5. I just noticed earlier the $5 Cash App. I really appreciate that, bro. And it's not even about the money. It's just, it's the sentiment, man. American Dream with the $2 super chat. Guys, I'm emotionless right now. I don't have any energy right now. I'm in this story. Thank you guys for the super chats. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Dream. Thank you again for the $49.99 super chat, JB. Thank you for doing the right thing, bro. The beef is squashed. I'm at a loss for words. Let's just say, JB, let's just say this. There's going to be a lot of that going around. What goes around comes around. I think you know that. God bless you, man. I know you don't believe, but God bless you anyway. We'll get back to the chat in a second. Damn super chat's pretty freaking distracting. Can't even think. So anyway, where's Jeremy nowadays? Like I said, he's happily married to his wife, his beautiful wife. They have a beautiful daughter. They haven't had any other kids. His wife was a Latin woman, and she was even saying, we don't believe in birth control. I'm from the Catholic Church and raised this way, right? We're raised to just be natural, right? Well, after they had their kid, she ended up getting on birth control. I remember they were telling me the story. She's like, I understand the tradition and all that. This is the modern world, and if I didn't do this, we'd probably have about 15 kids now. I'm like, I hear you. Those Latin chicks are quite fertile, especially in their mid-20s. Thank you again, JB and Dream. I'll get to the chat in a few. So where's Jeremy today? Because I gave him the opportunity, and he learned how to run a business, and he learned more skills than just stocking. Jeremy transitioned into the high-tech world. He met some friends in the industry because of his managerial experience, his networking. Once he got into those positions, he met some higher level people, and they hired him. And they trained him. He didn't have a degree in computer science or anything. They gave him material to study. They trained him. And they hired him, I believe, initially at like 70 or 80 grand a year. Before that, I think he was making 50 or 60 at the most as a store manager. Now remember, we're in the San Francisco Bay Area. That money back east or in the South or Midwest goes a lot further than here. That's peanuts here, right? And I'm sorry, I'm just reading the chat. It's quite comical. I'm sorry. So he ended up moving up quite quickly in the high-tech world where he still is at today. And today he's making over $200,000 a year, providing for his family and living the life because someone decided to give him an opportunity when other people wouldn't. Many other managers questioned me, including my district manager. They questioned me about this guy's maturity and whether this guy can handle the job. And I was the only one that stood up for him because I'm very intuitive. I believe in people. I believe in people. I have this natural instinct where I know when something is right. And I'm very proud of him. We're good friends to this day. Oh, Jesus Christ, JB, that's enough, man. JB, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Let's not let the trolls distract us today. Dream, do me a favor. Bring your pocketbook tomorrow night when we go on JB's show. We'll get to that in a few. Dream, make sure you bring your pocketbook. I'll be bringing mine. To me, it's not even about the money. It's about a matter of principle. And I think JB knows, and you know what I'm talking about, American Dream. And maybe most other people don't get it, but I think the three of us get it. And maybe we can teach the rest. Thank you, JB. I appreciate that. And if all goes well after tomorrow, we'll be adding some new moderators to the channel. Possibly you, JB, possibly even you, GLM. Yeah, I know you're listening behind the scenes, GLM. You love this stuff. And you were over there on Dream's channel earlier, and we'll get to that. Thank you for stopping by, 8 Ball Jack. So that's the moral of the story, folks. Sometimes your worst enemies become your best friends. Sometimes people that you feel are just goofballs and are just a pain in your thorn are actually really good people when you look underneath the surface. All of us look at people at a surface level, and we never look beyond the surface or below the surface, right? We never look below the surface or beneath the surface, right? And every one of us has made mistakes. I've made plenty of mistakes. JB Gunner's made mistakes. American Dream, you've made a ton of mistakes too, bro. Hey, WrestleMania. She says, hi, Elias, coming by for a quick hello before going to bed. Have a great stream. Thank you, Jamie WrestleMania. That's Jamie WrestleMania channel. Remember him, JB? He was around from my former channel. That WrestleMania has been a trooper. He's been around forever. Now, I'm going to save the story about what happened regarding the JB thing when I get back from break, but I'm going to mention another thing right now. A couple other things, and then I'm going to take my first break. I need to refill my coffee and use the restroom. Thank you, Lewis. They're all part of the journey, right, JB? They are. Let's talk about, for the last time, at least the last time on this channel. I don't know if we're going to talk about it tomorrow on JB's. We'll talk about whatever JB wants to talk about. Whatever JB wants to talk about, talk about. I'm looking at the chat, folks, and it's like, there's so much I feel like I need, I want to say. There's so much I want to say, but I'm looking at the chat, and I'm being honest. I'm really overwhelmed right now. And I usually can keep it all together, but I'm really overwhelmed right now. So Mr. and Mrs. Lycan Theory, we're going to refer to you as that. Because you folks like to flag people all day. You know, while other people are trying to become better people and look beneath the surface of things that have been done and forgive people and let things go, you folks would rather go out there and file the next restraining order on somebody or attack another YouTuber that you perceive to be better than you. And also, by the way, Susie Q7979, you're not blocked here. If you want to chat in the chat, you can chat. I hope that you're able to chat. I think all your channels are unbanned, right, JB? Are you able to come in on JB Gunner TV? JB, I'm a reasonable dude, man. If people are reasonable with me, I'm very reasonable. And I will continue to be reasonable. And again, like I've said before, I don't expect loyalty from people, but if people give me their loyalty, they automatically get mine. I know you have your meaning of loyalty, but that's what loyalty means to me. Loyalty is something that I don't expect, but if people give it to me, I automatically give it to them in return. On the flip side, I give to give, not give to get. Yeah, I think YouTube is having problems, JB. I tried to unban it from my phone and from my my laptop, which is what I'm trying to say. But YouTube and Google are having issues. When you go to the channel and you click on unblock channel, and then it tells you, are you sure you want to unblock it? You click yes, then you refresh, it still shows as banned. Same thing with the app. I think YouTube is having issues. So for the time being, I guess just use these accounts here. And I will email creator support and find out what's going on later tonight or by tomorrow. That's been happening for like the last week. So I'm going to email them and, well, they have the chat now. They don't even do email anymore. They have live 24-hour, 24/7 chat for creator support for monetized channels. So there's a concern, I guess, with Mrs. Lycan Theory thinking I'm going to release private information or private messages that her and I shared when we worked together throughout 2020. Here's the thing, ma'am. I'm not going to release any of that stuff. Now, Susie, before you think that I'm not going to help you, I am going to help you, but I'm going to help you in a different way. I'll tell you about that in a second. Okay? Now, Mrs. Lycan Theory, you're going around all over YouTube first of all, trying to white knight for your boyfriend, which is fine because you're female and that's feminine energy and that's normal for a female to white knight for her man. That's like being a cheerleader for him, right? But at the same time, ma'am, at the same time, you're going around making threats. You're saying I'm trying to blackmail you. No, ma'am, I'm not trying to blackmail you. I'm trying to give you an option to do the right thing. For once in your life, man, stop thinking that the whole world's out to get you. Stop thinking that everybody is trying to, harm you in some way. Man, you come out here and you run your mouth. You do. You come out here, you run your mouth, and then you expect to get, no repercussion for that, right? Ma'am, if you talk, people are going to respond. And if you don't like that, then it's time for you to go. That's it. Seriously, it is. I'm not telling you you have to go and you don't have to listen to a word I'm saying. All I'm saying is that, ma'am, it's funny that you feel you can come out here and run your mouth, but when people stand up to you and call you out on stuff, because they call you out on the truth, ma'am, you threaten them to release stuff on them. You go around and you try to get things on people and then you hold on to them, right? And then you threaten people. So in essence, man, you're the one that blackmails people. Sorry, you're the one that blackmails people, not me. I'm not going to release any of that stuff. You want to know why, ma'am? Because that stuff is irrelevant. Those conversations we had, ma'am, even if you released them, ma'am, they're going to more so bury you than bury me. Because, ma'am, you're the one that did all the shady stuff. Now, to be honest, ma'am, the stuff that you did were for the better good, right? For the most part, right? And I never actually agreed to doing those things with you. You pushed me into the point of where I felt in order to appease your emotions, I had to just give in, right? Because if not, then you were going to stop helping me with what I needed help with to get, the information and the restraining order of the doctor. Susie, let me tell you something. Welcome to the chat. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to help you, and I'm willing to be, what's the best way to put it? I'm willing to be a character witness, at the very least. Now, Mrs. Lycan Theory, here's the thing. If somebody comes to me from a court of law and asks me my opinion about your character, ma'am, I have to respond to that. That doesn't mean I'm going to put out information about you. That doesn't mean I'm going to do a live stream. You threatened, if he releases stuff on me, ma'am, I saw the screenshots. People send me this stuff. I don't ask for it. Quite frankly, I don't care. But people send me stuff because they care, right? And they're tired of your nonsense because you do this to everybody, right? You said if he releases any of that stuff, you're going to see a show unlike anything else, right? Well, ma'am, here's the thing. If you and Mr. Lycan Theory want to put all that stuff public, and you put all that public, ma'am, you've opened up a whole new can of worms. That's all I got to say. But see, ma'am, I'm not looking to create any legal issues, ma'am. I'm not looking to further this beef, ma'am. I'm looking to squash it. You see, ma'am, you're looking to create the next big thing for your supposed boyfriend, right? You're looking to give him content, right? Because if you release all that stuff, even though I've come out and basically said what's there, ma'am, I've gone public and stated the information that's there. I haven't gone into details, but I've stated what's there, right? If you release that stuff, ma'am, you'll be only doing it to help your boyfriend's dying, sinking ship. Folks in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Listen, Susie, I can help you rectify this. I will help you rectify this because I'm going to tell you honestly, Susie, I am telling you this publicly right now. Okay? I don't want to do something that's going to trigger this woman to do harassing things on YouTube or other stuff. Okay? Whatever I will do will be maturely and professionally. And Mrs. Like in Theory, I'm willing to get you involved in that. I want to create a resolution here, just like what JB Gunner and I did, which I'll talk about during the second part of the show. Because let me ask you this, Susie. What is it that you want from Mrs. Like in Theory? Do you just want her to just go away? Like leave you alone and you leave her alone? Like if you leave each other alone and just move on, is that what is the end result? What is the end result? What do you want to get out of this? Both of you, right? But Susie, let me tell you, honestly, Susie, I am more so on your side than hers. I'm actually completely on your side, to be honest with you, Susie. Because I'm seeing a pattern with this woman that she does this to many people. She goes from creator to creator to creator. She went from Shangy to JB to me, now to Jamie. Wow. Talk about monkey branching, right? Well, she didn't really monkey branch when she went to Jamie. Let's put it that way. Let's be real about that. Talk about hypergamy, right? Talk about the carousel, right? You know what the carousel is, right, JB? I can't say the other word. I'll get demonetized, right? So you go from Shangy to JB to me, now to Jamie. And it's the same old song and dance. Lather, rinse, repeat, ma'am. Lather, rinse, repeat, man. Same thing, different person, same outcome, right? What are you trying to get out of this, man? You say you want to squash all your beefs, remove all these videos, get ROs on everyone, and then you're leaving YouTube, man. But no. You just go from dude to dude to dude to dude, and you start over again, and you create more issues for yourself. What's it going to take to resolve this maturely, ma'am? Are you mature? You're planning on becoming a paralegal. You're studying to become a paralegal, ma'am. That's a highly professional job, ma'am. If you're a professional, ma'am, can we handle this professionally and maturely? Or are you looking to create content for your boyfriend? Is this what is this about, ma'am? Is this about more content for Jamie or about you doing the professional and mature thing, ma'am? Susie says, even when she's not talking about me publicly, she's stalking, harassing, and doing illegal things off of YouTube. Also, it's not just me. It's many other people, and many are my friends. So Susie, are you trying to get a civil harassment order on her here in California? What are you trying to accomplish, Susie? Because I know the process. We're in the same state. I know the process because you know who taught me the process? It's you, Mrs. Like in Theory. You taught me the process, right? No, JB's not joking. Here's the thing. Mrs. Like in Theory. If Susie's trying to get an RO on you, why don't you both just get an RO on each other and leave each other alone? Right? Why can't you do that and just move on? Right? Whatever it takes, right? Or why can't you just do the mature thing and back off? Stop coming at these people, ma'am. No one's coming at you. People just want to be left alone by you and we'll leave you alone. What do you want? Do you want attention, ma'am? Are you looking to create content for Jamie? What is your purpose out here, ma'am? What are you trying to accomplish? I'm not going to speak about the situation publicly. Okay, Susie, I know we didn't get a chance to talk today. I was an American Dream stream after I got up for about 5 hours. I apologize. We can talk tomorrow, Susie, if you'd like. Let me know when you're around. We can talk tomorrow morning or whenever. If I'm still, if I'm not tired after this show, we can talk even later tonight. That's up to you. Cassandra of Troy, is he coaching you on how to stop abusing women? No, Cassandra, can you please stop that? Can you let the stuff go about JB from the past? We've all done stuff. Can we be mature about this? Can we be mature and professional about this? Seriously. We've all had our issues. Everyone's had issues. Everyone's done things that they're not too proud of, right? Listen, Mrs. Lycan Theory, I don't want to hurt you or anyone. At the same time, I don't want you hurting other people. And I don't think Susie or anyone's trying to hurt you. By the way, Susie, did you get my email regarding Heather Nicole's channel? I think she got my message I left on my video that I retracted the copyright on. She got her channel back and she deleted that video. I told her she didn't have to, but she did. I told her to go through her entire channel and delete anything that anyone could flag her down because she still has 2 strikes, but her channel is back. Did you notice that, Susie? I just want to make sure you got that email and that you've talked with her and she's protected her channel. Why is the chat taking so long to update? Let me know, Susie, if you got that. I'm trying to do the right things, folks. This is how I've always been. When I first came out here 4 years ago as a real creator, I mean, I've been out here since YouTube came out. JB and the rest know I've had former channels from my networking days. I got on the Elias Melas channel with my networking, for my networking days and other stuff that I did that is, Jesus, what, 13, 14 years old? It has one of the old YouTube usernames, youtube.com/Elias Melas or /user/Elias Melas. I may turn that into something. I may rejuvenate that. But when I came out here as a real creator 4 years ago, I had to learn the ropes. YouTube is different than real life. You have to have thick skin times 10 out here. Normal thick skin is not good enough for YouTube. You have to become stronger. And I'll tell you more about that when I talk about JB and what happened today on American Dreams channel for 5 hours. I'll give you a summary of it when I get back after the break. I did see that there's still some things I need to tell you, though. No, I know, Susie. Susie, we're going to talk. When do you want to talk? Do you want to talk later tonight? Do you want to talk tomorrow? What time are you going to bed tonight? And we can make it happen. But what I'm going to say is this, Mrs. Lycan Theory, I'm not here to harm you, and I'm not going to put things out there to harm you. I'm not going to do that. You have my word on that. But I'm going to get involved with Susie to help her resolve this. And I hope, ma'am, you can resolve this with us maturely and professionally, ma'am. You are going to be a paralegal, ma'am. Can you display your maturity, your personal maturity and professionalism as you're going to be, as you're going to need to display, which is what I'm trying to say, in that field, ma'am? Ma'am, are you a professional? And can you handle this professionally and maturely? I'm asking you. Maybe it's because you're not supposed to tell the difference because it isn't your business, ma'am. Let's just move on. Cassandra, do me a favor. Please be kind. I do not want to have to remove you. I don't want to remove anyone. Can you just leave JB Gunner alone? This has been going on for 4 years. I'm done. Look, honestly, I'm not turning back this time. I even told JB, and I think JB's been watching and knows what's been going on. I told him, dude, I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens on your show tomorrow. You can ask us any questions. Dream and I will come on together. I said, let's do it. I suggested to JB to do a show on whatever channel he wants to do in good faith. You can ask us anything. And I said, would it be okay if we bring American Dream on? Because I don't want people to think this is all about me. I want it to be about the community. That's what I want it to be about. Coach Eli, you are more respected on YouTube than you are aware of. People who admire you are cautious to approach you because of trolls. But once you get to know you, you are genuine and professional. Thank you. Susie says, we'll see how things are when this is over. I have a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, so I'm just moving hour by hour. I'm sorry to hear about that, Susie. And again, I apologize to you on my channel, like I did last night on American Dreams channel. American Dreams didn't pass out, by the way. He had some issues with his dogs, and he left the stream and left me stranded for 2 hours. But let me tell you, Dream, you're lucky you left someone stranded alone on a panel that knows how to run a show. They can talk for hours, bro. Tomorrow will be laid back. No, JB, I want you to do whatever you want to do tomorrow. I don't care. I appreciate it. Whatever you want to talk, listen, dude. Whatever you want to talk about, let's talk about. Dream, are you cool with that? Nothing's off the table on that show, right? Dream, you tell me. Dream, nothing's off the table tomorrow. I appreciate the respect, JB, but I think it's about time for all of us to really, really grow up and whatever we need to talk about, past, present, future, liptards, conservative, whatever, dude. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Ma'am, I've been on national TV 17 times. Yeah, on that, your most famous clip, JB, was that show with Chrissy. That was funny, man. GLM, how you doing? GLM. In continuing on with my good faith, and I know you were shocked at hearing JD Gutter and I talk earlier on American Dream stream. I want to continue with the good faith. I'm on the back end of YouTube. Congratulations, GLM. Welcome back to the mod crew after all this time. You earned it. I'm serious. This is the way it should have gone years ago. This is the way it should have gone years ago. And myself and American Dream and many others had to learn how to handle ourselves better out here on this platform. I'm doing this in good faith, GLM. Susie, I'm sorry about that. I remember somebody gave her that disease, and I wasn't trying to butcher the story. I was trying to show some sympathy, and I apologize. Whoever gave it to her, it doesn't give people the right to attack her on it on this platform. Right. A boyfriend that slept with her unprotected and didn't tell her that he had AIDS, knowing he had AIDS. That warrants a lawsuit. It does. The evil guy gave many women HIV knowingly. Heather Nicole's Hubs is an amazing guy. Now, her husband doesn't have anything, right? I hope she's taking the best medication possible, Susie, because nowadays they have medication that will extend your life for quite a while. And in some cases, it might just go away. Eli, you know how I feel about these clowns coming over here? There aren't any clowns here right now, Queen. Who are the clowns here? Everybody here is speaking respectfully. We're just having a respectful conversation. Queen, I got your back. No one's gonna attack you. I promise you. You know how to mod this channel better than anyone, and no one will ever take that away from you. And you will always be very special here, Queen. I'm serious about that. But we got to continue growing. We got to continue moving forward. She's not a victim like other women always want her to be. She's a warrior. I know she is. I've seen her videos, Susie. And the only reason why I took down that video in the first place is because Mrs. Theory convinced me that you and everyone on her side are bad people. And when I realized what was going on after you guys showed me last night, I saw it with my own two eyes, right? I retracted the strike and she got her channel back. I was happy to do that. And I apologize for not seeing this in the first place, but I had to live and learn. Live and learn. Sometimes you have to experience things with someone to know the truth. Now I do. So, Queen, be good to GLM. I know, listen, everybody in this chat, we've all had a beef amongst each other, right? Every one of us here has gone at each other at one point or another, except you and I, Dream, we've never gone at it, right? And maybe, Queen, maybe you and I haven't gone at it in mutt, but everyone else, we've kind of gone at it for the most part. Miss Queen is, in my mind, isn't always be chief of security and logistical operation. She is. No, Queen's like the head moderator here. She always has been. She's doing her job. She's just being protective of the channel. Can you blame her? But Queen, let me tell you this. The more that we grow, the more you're going to grow. And Queen, if you start broadcasting on YouTube again, I'll come on your panels with you. We'll do it, Queen. Let's do it. And who knows what comes out of this? You know, maybe JB Gunner, myself, and an American Dream can do like a liberal / conservative commentary show once per week or something, right? We don't have to make it the King and the Cuck or anything like that. You know, we could do a show like that and really have constructive conversations from both sides of the spectrum. There are so many things we can do. You know what I mean? It's been the most interesting month on YouTube that I've ever seen. I've seen adversaries unite. I've seen people change. May all our channels grow during this time of peace. Queen, I never said you would attack me. Queen, Queen, do you understand I'm praising you? Queen, hi, are you there? I'm praising you. I'm saying good things about you. Is that clear, ma'am? Lots of love. You're like a sister to me. JB Gunner TV Underground, count me in. Yeah, those people from the past would look at it as King of the Cup too, but that's not what it would be. And I would only do it if Dream did it along, because here's the thing, JB. Here's an idea. You know who Tim Pool is. I think most people know who Tim Pool is. You could run like a Tim Pool show, right? Yeah, Tim Pool. Maybe you're Tim Pool, JB, because he's more on the right, like you. Then you have myself and Dream, right? We're kind of more slightly Dream. I believe you're a little more on the left, right? You're a little bit more liberal or down the middle, right, Dream? And I think bringing a third person into it, man, brings a better dynamic, right? Because then it's not like just one-on-one, like attacking. It's more like you're having a conversation amongst three people, and then you could bring on people on the panel You know, we can discuss things, right? J-Rom is the only YTCVXX. You guys want to do a show with me? We can call it GLM and others. I'll do a show with you, GLM. GLM, listen, if you want to start up streaming again, we can come to your channel and late at night. You can do the late night shows, GLM, so I don't have to do them. And I can lay in my bed and rest. I've been working overtime lately. I need some rest. I need someone else to start doing the late night stuff every now and then. 3 is always better than 2. Lewis, I sure do kick the rats out. So before I take my first break, and I'll be back for a little more. We're going to talk about the JB thing. We're talking about the show tomorrow night on Gunner's World, formerly known as #Gun Squad. I didn't get a chance to share the link on my community tab. I'll share it at the end of the show, and I will share the link in the chat here in just a little bit. George Dickel, great name. Is that you, the doc? Is that you, doc? Lots of star power in here. Will these live streams be a new norm? We'll see, bro. Only time will tell, right? I can't predict the future, but who knows? They probably will be. We'll see. Let's see how tomorrow night goes. We're gonna promote it. I'm gonna do a live stream, probably a walking stream, late morning, early afternoon. Then I'll do a second stream right before we go live on JB's channel in the studio to promote that. And then we're going to be on JB's channel for however long it takes. I got the rest of the night free. It was a joke, Eli. I have the streaming to the top. I leave the streaming to the top. You paid for StreamYard. Why not use it? You said you paid for StreamYard, GLM. I remember the last time you were here, and you're too lazy to cancel it, right? It's only $25 or $20 per month, right? You pay for the year, right? I'm merely a troll? Okay. I even scheduled already like you. Yeah, I saw that, dude. I had too much to take care of, JV, before I went live. After that show, I had to, delete that website. I had to unblock things, email you, unblock emails. There was a lot to do, set up the stream. Yeah, it's a lot. Not sure who that is, sir. George Dickel is in tribute to my family business. No, that's cool, bro. I'm just messing with you. I'm gonna stop thinking that everyone new here is a doctor, okay? GD, you remember everything, LOL. So, Mrs. Lycan Theory, can we handle this professionally and maturely? Can you and you and Mr. Lycan Theory go and do your thing? We're going to leave you alone. After this show here, we're not going to be talking about you on my channel. I don't know what's going to happen on JB's tomorrow. We may talk about you one more time there, but after that, that's it, right? Now, if you folks do something stupid down the road that's noteworthy for us to talk about, we'll briefly talk about it, but we don't plan on associating with you anymore. We plan on letting you do your own thing. That's what you want. That's what we want, right? But as a farewell parting gift, ma'am, can we just squash the beef, you and Susie? Can you just lay off everyone? Stop attacking people. Stop threatening people with ROs. Stop thinking everyone's coming out to get you or is out to get you, ma'am. Ma'am, you're your own worst enemy, ma'am. Before I figured all this out, I was my own worst enemy, ma'am. I was my own worst enemy, ma'am. And you are your own worst enemy. Well, GLM, I would agree with you on that, but violence doesn't work. And, it's just something that wouldn't get us anywhere. Once again, thank you, JB, for the $49.99 super chat and the $5 Cash App. And also, thank you, Dream, for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Come on, Mrs. Like and Theory. Honestly, all we want is for you to go do your own thing. Go do your own thing with Jamie. No one's going to bother you, but please, leave everyone else alone. No one's out to get you. No one's out to harm you. Can you make peace, ma'am, professionally and maturely? I will talk. I'm letting you know I'm being transparent. I will talk with Susie. It's my prerogative who I talk with, ma'am. You can't tell me who I can't and can't talk with. Just like I couldn't tell you to not talk with Jamie. I told you, be careful. He's not a good dude, in my opinion. Not the right dude, but that's not for me to decide, ma'am. And you said, I want to give him a chance. And I said, okay. Well, it's a conflict of interest for me. I'm going to withdraw, which made you mad, ma'am, because now you no longer had me as a resource, right? And now you're holding on to resentment for no reason, right? So, ma'am, do the right thing. I've been doing a lot of the right things lately to make up for some unintentional things I did that unintentionally hurt other people. Why don't you turn it around like that? And maybe people will start respecting you more, man. Take ownership of something. Just let it go. No one wants to harm you, man. Let it go and then move on with whatever you want to do with Like and Theory. Mr. Like and Theory, best of luck to you with your degree to become a paralegal and then get into your job and live happily ever after, and go and try to have your kid with him, whatever you want to do, man. We want to embrace that, right? And let you go so you can have that. Why don't you let us go, man? Can you and Mr. Like and Theory let us go so you folks can have what you want? Is that a fair thing? You want to know something? I even have Nightbot. Nightbot warns the moderators too. But Nightbot cannot ban the moderators. Can you still type GOM? I turned on notes again. I had notes silenced. Now you can see what Nightbot is warning you for. God loves me. You are attempting to use a blocked word on this channel. Please stop using words you believe the host doesn't want you using. Thank you. I should actually turn off moderator level, but I have Nightbot set to make those notes for everyone except for me, the channel owner. I could put it to one level below moderators, but I want to mess with my moderators too. You're not hidden. You're messing around. I see you on my OBS. And listen, a moderator can't ban a moderator, GLM. You know, Nightbot's a moderator on the channel. You have to give Nightbot moderator access to be able to do what he does, right? But a moderator can't ban another moderator. He can give you a piece of his mind, which he did. He gave you a piece of his mind because you have such a foul mouth like I do. He just, gave you a friendly piece of his mind, right? Your Nightbot, okay. Well, how does one become a moderator on YouTube? You have to know, I can trust the channel owner. And when we get to know you and know you're a real person, then, if we feel you're worthy of a moderator wrench, we give you one. I've known these people for ages, bro. Ages, George. All right, so Mrs. Like and Theory, I hope you do the right thing. I hope you do the right thing. And I will. I'm not going to. Hang on a second here. I'm not going to do you wrong, Mrs. Like and Theory. All I want is for a peaceful resolution. In the same ways like J.D. Gunner, myself, and American Dream made on American Dream Stream earlier tonight, which I'll talk about more when I get back from the break. So let me cue up some YouTube music here. And then we'll be right back. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break. When we return, we're going to continue talking about things, talking about the topic. My past enemies have become my closest friends, and thank you, JB Gunner TV. So stick around. We'll be right back. back. No, Boston Rotten. Great name, by the way. You didn't miss a stream. It's just break time. I need to create like a break screen or caption or something. Yeah. This is one of my favorite songs in the YouTube audio library. Has a good rhythm and beat. Yeah. 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 Yes. 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 All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube and also simulcasting live on Facebook. Glad you could all join me here tonight for this pretty epic stream, in my opinion. It's all about peace, love, and unity over here in my neck of the woods. I know that sounds kind of stupid to many of you. I know many of you that even believe in peace, love, and unity, like you, GLM, like to mess around a little bit. You like to be like the class clown and all that. I get that, folks. I get that. But someone has to be, the instigator of peace, right? There are many people out here that are instigating hate, instigating drama, instigating attacking other YouTubers. Even this one YouTuber has named his channel, memes and attacking other YouTubers. You know who that is. The dude took me literally and changed his channel name from memes and commentary to memes and attacking other YouTubers. I guess he wants to be more true to his purpose, right? I mean, you tell me. I'm not trying to even be funny. I'm just stating the facts. That's all. Or like JB Gunner says, I'm accidentally funny, right? I'm accidentally, quote unquote, funny. Can you play double helix? Hey, Cicely or Blue Ball Brandon, is that you on one of your 100 socks where 50 of them are banned here by Queen Helen Casey? I'm not going to play Ethan Mixell Double Helix. That's probably my ultimate most favorite song within the YouTube audio library. Blue Ball Brandon. Folks, tonight we've been discussing my past enemies have become my closest friends. And thank you to JD Gunner TV. One more time, my past enemies have become my closest friends. Thank you to JD Gunner TV. We'll talk more about JB here in just a few. If you missed the first part of the show, go back and check out the replay because I have the DVR function disabled for my streams, so you can't rewind back. I want people here to be live, during the live portion of the show so they can engage. If you missed the first part, go back and check it out. I was sharing a story of mine where one of my, somebody that was not really a friend of mine, that I wasn't too fond of, that I used to work with, ended up becoming one of my closest friends. You're going to want to hear that story, folks. This happens all the time. This has happened to me many times. How many of you out there have been enemies with somebody for a while, and then after a while, you realize if you can't beat them, join them, right? You've heard that phrase, right? If you can't beat them, join them, right? Mrs. Lycan Theory, why don't you take that phrase into consideration? This is not about a game of beating people. It's about working together in unity and creating better greatness as a group, right? Ma'am, do you believe in unity? Do you believe in peace and unity and love, right? Ma'am, if that's what you believe in, why don't you start displaying that? Show us some good faith. Show us some good faith, please. I really wish and hope for the best for you and for Mr. Lycan Theory. I really do. We also talked about Mr. and Mrs. Lycan Theory. We talked about Susie Q7979. The Susie Q7979 channel is going to be running a premiere later tonight. Go check it out. Just do a search for Susie Q7979. You'll find out her channel over there and check it out. We discussed some things that have been happening within the communities I've been involved with for a while. If you're new here, you're probably not going to have a clue regarding what's going on. But stick around and you'll figure it out. Plus, there's some greater programming coming to this channel, some greater collaborations that will be happening, more than likely with JB Gunner and with American Dream. And there's even a show tomorrow that, I offered, to go on. Like, I requested for JB to create a show if he wanted to bring myself on and American Dream and talk about things. Folks, peace is possible with anyone. We're on YouTube, and I'm beginning to more so see that, on YouTube, you've got to lighten up and not take things so seriously, right? There are over 2 billion people on this platform, and there are a lot of creators that are fighting to be relevant, right? Let's face it, every single YouTuber that's trying to make it out here is seeking relevancy to some extent, right? Okay, but it's how you go on seeking that relevancy, okay? Are you going to seek that relevancy by attacking other YouTubers like this other guy and kicking them down and creating drama and building an audience that's not sustainable long term? Or are you going to work your ass off and continue to fight and fight and fight each and every day and just move a little bit further ahead each and every day? Folks, I had to rebuild. When I removed myself from all this nonsensical drama, I had to rebuild. I had to start over. And I started doing that probably about, 8 or 9 months ago when I sold my insurance business? It's taken me 9 months to get this point right now. And I know why there are a lot of people here tonight. There's been 35 to 40 people here, sometimes, at some points a little bit more. They're here because of JB. They are. Flat out. They're here because of JB. Yes, some of the people are mine. I'd probably say 15 or 20 are mine. But I would say that JB has brought over another 30 people at least. I recognize that. I acknowledge that. And I appreciate that. And I didn't expect that. And I don't expect that in the future. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. But when you're good with people or good to people and civil with people and you're honest with people, you're not playing games and you're not trying to one-up them and you're not trying to seek relevancy by kicking other people down, people are more prone to help you, right? George, there's too much of a backstory, bro. You're going to have to just start going back and watching streams and bro, welcome to the club. George, how'd you find out about this channel? Who made you aware of this channel? I'm just curious how you found out about this. There's too much going on in the chat for me to go back and read everything. If there's something you folks want me to answer that you asked earlier, please put it in the chat now. I'm at the bottom of the chat. So anyway, earlier today, I slept in because I was up late dealing with a bunch of stuff last night. I was on American Dream's show last night for hours. And then he left to go file a copyright takedown notice on the Lycan Legion channel run by Jamie, Lycan Theory. And he never came back. I thought he passed out because he was drinking, but he went to go tend to his dogs. And I was on the show by myself for 2 hours, which was fine because some people came in and we resolved some things, right? And because of that, what happened on that show, I went and did a live stream late last night. If you missed that show, go back, check out the replay. A lot of information was shared on that. I shared some of it at the beginning of this stream. So if you want a little bit of backstory, George, go watch my previous stream. You may want to also subscribe to American Dream 1.5, 2.5, and 6.2. Dream, if you want to share your channels in the chat, go ahead. But there's a lot to catch up on, dude. There's a lot to catch up on. And my channel is not just about talking about my community. I'm going to do more broad-based topics, which is what I'm about to discuss here right now. when I get to JB Gunner. Now, because I was up late last night, I was going to do that stream this morning, but I said I got to get it off my chest before I go to sleep. Then people can wake up in the morning while I'm sleeping and watch the replay, right? If they weren't there live. And I got up around, like 10 o'clock or shortly after that. And then Lewis made me aware that American Dream was live. Because, I had just gotten up before that and I had not checked my YouTube notifications yet. I know I'm just learning all about this myself, says Cassandra. Many things got deleted. Hopefully things will forward, not back, so it won't matter. If no one mentions each other from now on, it will end. It's not about not mentioning each other, Cassandra. We're YouTubers. It's about playing the game fairly and being mature. It's okay to have a little bit of fun, but when you take things beyond a certain level, when you continuously cross lines, right? And you continuously do the same things over and over again because you have no other content, it gets pretty old, right? Thank you, Dream. Thank you. Share all your channels. If you can also go and find the Gunners World channel, the one with, 1,900 subscribers? Heck, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see. Yes. Yeah, here it is. Here's, hang on a second. There's the Gunners World channel, which is a channel that American Dream and I will be guests on JB's live stream tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And you can also do a YouTube search for JB Gunner and check out his other channels as well, too. He has plenty of them. And we'll probably talk more about that on his channel tomorrow. But I was made aware by Lewis that American Dream was live, so I went to check out his stream, and then he was running a panel. So I said, let me pop on in, Dream. And I was going to do a walking stream in addition to what I'm doing now. But because Dream was on, I decided to stay on his panel for, like 4 hours. American Dream 1.5, you became a sponsor again on 1.5? Oh, Dream. A channel sponsor, channel member. Thank you, Dream. I will be producing some more members-only content soon. I'm going to start doing some more pre-recorded videos and some members-only content exclusive to members. Thank you, Dream. I appreciate that, man. Not necessary. And after a while, we were talking about stuff which is what I'm trying to say. JB Gunner popped on in. And we started talking. It was a very, very civil conversation. We talked about a bunch of things. We talked about Mrs. Lycan theory. We talked about Mr. Lycan theory. We talked about, what happened in the past, and what's done is done. And it's time to move forward. And I will say this, JB. I want to leave some things on the table for your show tomorrow. I don't want to talk about everything here because there are some more things that I'm going to leave for your platform tomorrow because you made a bunch of these things happen. JB Gunner TV Underground with the $2.99 super chat. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Dream, you're going to bring your pocketbook tomorrow to JB's channel, right? It's not a monetized channel, so we're going to have to use Cash App. But you have Cash App, and so do I. You have Cash App, and so do I. I got money in the Cash App. Tomorrow's going to be about hashtag show life. I actually removed hashtag show life as a blocked word, JB, so it's all good. I've decided to loosen up a little bit, all right? Great show, Eli, says JB. Thanks again for all the super chats tonight. $49.99, $2.99, and I can't even remember the other one. Let me go to the viewer activity. $4.99. There they are. $49.99, $2 American Dream, $4.99 JB Gunner, and American Dream becoming a channel member, and then JB with. Why won't it go that far down? Come on, YouTube. With the $2.99. All right. So I will say this, JB, and I'm getting distracted by the super chats. You guys are killing me. There's an underlying message regarding what JB did today. He understands it. I know you understand it, JB. I understand it, and I think American Dream understands it. And maybe GLM and a few others understand the underlying message. But I think most people don't. And I think, JB, I think we should leave discussing that to your show tomorrow, because I think it would be a great lesson to teach people and to give you credit for it, because I know exactly. There are many reasons why you did what you did today. I appreciate it. I sincerely appreciate it. No joke. This is no trolling, folks. This is not scripted. This is not skidded. This was not planned. I did not expect JB to be on American Dreams panel earlier, but there is a huge underlying message to all of this. And here's the thing, JB. Like I mentioned on your stream earlier, even after you left the panel, you were still listening and chatting in the chat on Dream's channel. You've been doing this for 15 years since YouTube's been around. And, you've had a lot of experience doing it. But I think you yourself even learned a lot more about how to handle things over the last 4 years since I've known you, 3-4 years, whatever it's been, right? It's a learning process, folks. This YouTube thing and social media in general is still a new thing. Social media is like 15, maybe 20 years old, right? We've gone from an in-person world to a digital world, right? And when you first transition from running a business or living your life offline and you bring it online like I have, it's a whole new world. It's like being a newborn baby. That's why when JB Gunner says, my sons are having issues or whatever, you would call us your sons, right? And I understood the underlying message, JB. In essence, what you're saying is that no matter how experienced you are off of social media, especially, outside of YouTube, when you come on YouTube, no matter how old you are, you're like a newborn baby. You have to learn the ropes. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's a lot you need to learn. First, you need to learn the technical aspect, right? Then you got to be a good public speaker. You have to have great camera presence, engage an audience, right? But that's not it. You have to also learn to deal with the court of public opinion, deal with scrutiny, feedback, deal with people doxing you, attacking you, doing all these things, and you've got to learn to deal with it, or you're not going to make it. Moti, what time tomorrow? 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, bro. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. You nailed it, said JB Gunner, TV Underground. Thank you. I want you to know, JB, I understand everything that you've been trying to get through to people. I know you've tried to get through to me as well in the past, but I had to see it for myself. And I think you know that. You had to see this for yourself when you first figured this out. Because when you first came out here, you probably got scrutinized and attacked too. You've been through all this, so you learned how to deal with it, right? Now, you try to help people, you try to help teach people how to handle it, right? And it's hard to teach, JB, because until you go through it, you have no idea what it is. It's almost impossible to explain it to people, right? They almost have to go through it. Like American Dream went through it as well, right? Well, I have to go help my patients. I will be back soon. All right, George, I'm not going to be on here too much longer. Probably just another 20, 25 minutes. We're at an hour and 36 minutes right now. Eli and JB have social media channels as opposed to L Theory, who runs a broken anti-social media channel. Dude, I've got 4,100 people on Facebook. I've got thousands of people on Twitter, LinkedIn. People don't understand how deep my social network goes, right? And I've been trying to incorporate my Facebook network into this by simulcasting most of my in-studio streams to Facebook as well, right? And like I mentioned yesterday, give me a second here. Oh, Susie sent me a text. She asked if I'm unblocked on my channel. That was at 6:01 p.m. And obviously she was, because she was able to chat. Okay, cool. All right. So, like I was saying, I've been speaking with some people from my in-person network on Facebook. These people actually have real businesses. They do similar things as I do. There's a woman, I'm not going to mention her name at this point. She's actually in her early 30s, and we've been Facebook friends for a while. We met through in-person networking. She lives in the greater Sacramento area. And I met her many years ago. We've stayed in touch through Facebook, and I see her postings, and she shares her real life experiences, and she's been through a lot. And she's a woman that, she's one of those empowered women, and she's a strong woman, and she teaches women's empowerment, but she's not one of those, feminist extremists, right? And so she messaged me on Facebook Messenger last night after I commented on her channel, on her Facebook, and said, I'd love to interview you on my YouTube channel. If you're interested, let me know and let's talk. So she messaged me. I got back to her, and I'm still waiting to hear back from her. She's quite busy with her business, and I'm probably going to be interviewing her either live or pre-recorded. I'll probably end up doing it live, but I'm going to coach her because she's about to start her own YouTube channel as well, and she has no idea the ring of fire she's going to throw herself into. That's another aspect that I want to continue helping people with out here, maybe alongside with JB Gunner and American Dream. Maybe that's part of what we do. Because if you're going to start creating content out here on YouTube, no matter what it is, it's unlike anything you're ever going to experience. It's unlike anything you're ever going to experience. It can be fun, it can be great, it can be rewarding, it can be profitable, but if you don't grab it by the horns and control it and not let it control you, you're going to get derailed. There were many times I got derailed over the past several years, and many people are surprised I'm still around. Maybe you're one of them, JB. Are you surprised I'm still around? Honestly, man, are you surprised I'm still around? Or did you figure out I would figure out a way to keep moving forward? Honestly, dude. Maybe we can talk about that on your show tomorrow. You can give me a brief answer, but we can talk about that more on your show tomorrow as well. But I will mention one more thing here before I wrap this up regarding JB, and we talked about this on Dream's channel, but I want people to hear this in case they didn't hear it on Dream's channel, or in case they don't make it over there to watch that replay, it was a long show. JB Gunner's had a lot of experience. And despite what happened in the past, there are many things that we all did to each other, folks. And a lot of those things we regret. Some of those things were taken way out of context. It's irrelevant, right? But at the end of the day, a lot of the things that JB did, I personally learned from. I did personally learn from those things. And he goes, JB says, I'm surprised for sure and proud of you at the same time. I appreciate that, JB. You know how many people tried to run me off of YouTube, man? And the worst one was that Ronaldo guy. Let's just call him Ronaldo. American Dream 1.5 says YouTube is equivalent to a psychological mixed martial arts match, or it can be survival of the strongest, fittest, and most intellectual mental chess players. Right. One of the things that I learned immediately from JB is I really liked how he was creating broadcasts that were outside of Hangouts on Air. Before StreamYard came around, YouTube used to integrate Google Hangouts. It was known as Hangouts on Air, integrated into the live streaming section of your YouTube channel. They got rid of that about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, and that's when StreamYard came out and became the replacement. But JD Gunner was doing high quality streams where he could display whatever he wanted to on the screen, put fancy graphics on there, change scenes and all that stuff. And I'm like, this is cool. This is what I want to do. I'm a tech savvy guy. Let me look into this. You showed a lot of heart. Thank you. The doctors should really get over the cheeseburger delivery and move on. I agree, man. I agree. He'll get over it, man. It's not a big deal. And if he doesn't, that's on him, man. If he wants to keep talking about us or me, or if he wants to talk about Mrs. Lycan Theory like he's doing now, that's on him, man. And if we have a few minutes to scoot on over there and hear 5 minutes of what he's saying, which is repetitive, then it is what it is, right? So I saw what JB was doing, and then I went to do a search for third-party streaming software for YouTube, and there were many options. There was XSplit, there was Wirecast, and then OBS, and now Streamlabs OBS, which is a bloated version of OBS. I don't like using the Streamlabs version. It's too bloated. You can do everything with the regular OBS that Streamlabs does. You just have to do some things manually, which is fine. I would rather have manual control than have a bloated integrated version of OBS made by a third party, because OBS is open source. Anyone can make their own version of it legally. So, I tried XSplit, and XSplit was cool, but it didn't have some of the flexibility that I was looking for or that worked for me. They could do everything, and JB's mastered it, but I downloaded the free version. OBS is free. I started playing with it, started doing some live streams on my former channel. I didn't have the greatest internet connection back then. I had 14 down and 1 up. That was crappy, but I still found a way to run a show, right? And, over a year or two, I started to increase my production value. I started buying more equipment. Then fiber came into my area. And when I got the notification, I thought it was a joke, but it was real. They installed fiber, and I've had 1,000 up, 1,000 down. That's why I'm able to run much more higher quality streams now. But I would have never, I'm not saying I would have never found out about it, but because of JD Gunner and him doing this already, I found out about it a lot sooner. I got on the bandwagon a lot sooner. And there was a lot of trial and error to get it right. I had many streams where they would glitch and there were a lot of issues, right? And over the years, I continued playing around with OBS, especially when I got a better connection. And now I've refined it to the point of where I don't have any issues for the most part. I don't buffer. It's crystal clear. The sound is good. Everything just works. The chat works on the screen. If I want to display a website or picture or image or whatever, it's real simple. One of my platforms is leaving March 31st, and I will be looking for a new platform. Which platform is that, Queen? So that was something that I learned from him. Another thing, and if you think I'm white knighting for JB, I'm not. I'm just stating the facts. These are just facts. These are just absolute facts, right? Another thing that I mentioned on Dreamstream, I'll mention it here again. JB Gunner used to go around and say, I'm the trigger machine, right? And I've never, ever, ever forgotten that, JB. And now I know why JB called himself the trigger machine, because I finally figured out half of what it takes to be successful on YouTube. Half of what it takes to be successful on YouTube is to not let anyone trigger you, no matter what they say or do. If you go on a panel with somebody, even if they gang mob attack you with 7 people, like what they did to me on Rogue Internet Man stream, right? You stay there, you keep your cool, you answer your questions or their questions. If they question your answer, you say, that's just my opinion. And then they get triggered, right? I kept answering the questions in the best way I know how to answer them, the truth, right? But it wasn't good enough for him. So he ended up getting triggered. He ended up getting triggered on his own show. I triggered him on his own show, and then he kicked me off his own show. I didn't rage quit. I didn't get triggered, right? Half the battle of being successful on YouTube is not getting triggered no matter what anyone says to you at all, whether you're on a panel, in the comments section, on your own live streams, whatever, right? Because what happens when people like Rogue Internet Man, like Jamie Lycan Theory, or anyone else is trying to trigger you? That person that tried to send that message out, it never even hit the chat because my spam filter caught it. That was the doctor. We're not going to read that. Screw it. He got triggered and had a hissy fit, and his fake radio voice got exposed. Right. Right. The fake radio voice. Right? The other half of being successful on YouTube is being consistent, and yes, do some live streams, but also create some pre-recorded videos of a shorter length. That way, you get your message out there in smaller bits. You get a higher average view duration and impression click-through rate on your thumbnail. So that way the YouTube algorithm can recommend you to another audience. But first and foremost, in my opinion, from what I've seen, and this is what JB, I shit you not. When I went on Rogue's panel, I knew what was going to happen. I said, if I'm going to make a change and start showing strength and displaying strength and maturity and turning this thing around, I'm going to remember what JB Gunner has done. JB Gunner called himself the trigger machine, right? So I'm going to be the trigger machine. But I'm not going to go on there and trigger them by what I say. I'm going to trigger them by not allowing them to trigger me. I know they're trying to trigger me. And if I sit there and show strength and maturity and resistance, right, it's going to tick them off because they're not going to get what they want, right? You flip it on them, right? Now I get it. And that's why I think JB Gunner finally stepped in and said, okay, let's talk. Let's talk. I think you finally get it, Eli. I think you finally get it now. After 4 effing years, you finally get it. No one really understood why J.B. Gunner went out there and called himself a trigger machine. Not even I did. I didn't even understand it, right? But now I get it. He's not going out there trying to trigger people. He's going out there dealing with people coming at him, repeating the same old song and dance for years for things he's done in the past he's wanted to work through and he's apologized for, like I've been through, right? And because when they come at him, he sits there and just doesn't say a word. Okay. Yeah, that happened years ago. Okay. I'm sorry again. Right? He's cool about it, right? When these people are coming at him, they're trying to trigger him, right? To make themselves feel better. When they can't trigger him, they're going to try to trigger him even more. When that doesn't work, they're going to try something more. When that doesn't work, they may dox him. They may do some crazy stuff to try to trigger him, right? No matter what they do to trigger him, he won't get triggered usually, right? And what happens when they can't trigger him after they try again? They get triggered themselves for not being able to trigger him, right? And then it's a game of who has more emotional self-control and who has a lack of emotional self-control, right? It's actually an anti-trigger reaction, right? Because here's the thing. There are many people on this platform that like to run their mouth and they lack emotional self-control. More so, I'm going to go with the men. Women are a different breed. I love you ladies, but I'm just talking about the men that lose emotional self-control, because a real man is not going to lose his shit all the time over YouTube stuff especially, right? And I'm not saying that's the only thing that cost me my last relationship with a woman I cared for, but that was a huge part of it. It wasn't the only thing. There was a lot more. I'm not going to get into it today, but I've talked about it before. It's an old song. But think about it. Think about it. I mentioned this to American Dream after you left, JB. You may have heard it. I'm like, you know what, Dream? My ex-girlfriend Dana was a good woman. If I could find a woman that's half as good as her, I'll be happy. I'm not trying to put her on a pedestal, but I had a lot of respect for her. That woman was good to me, right? You know how good she was to me, Dream? I said on the show. I said, I lost my emotional self-control so many times over a YouTube beat while I was with her. She tried to calm me down and help me. She really cared, right? But I didn't listen. I got enthralled into all this nonsensical drama with the lichen theories and the Bearded Nemophilus channels and all these people that most of you don't even know about, right? Right? Let me tell you something. Most women, if you lose your emotional self-control once or twice, they would can you just like that. This woman put up with me doing that for a whole year. What's there not to respect about that? A woman that really cares about you is going to try to help you. She tried to help me, and I didn't listen. I lost my shit. She was. I'm over it, JB, but I'm proving a point. I'm speaking to men only. Now, I'm not telling women lose your emotional cool, but women are emotional all the time. Women respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. Men respond to things logically first, then maybe show a little emotion, right? When a man is overreacting emotionally all the time, he's acting like a woman, and that's not attractive to a woman. But this woman put up with me doing that for a year because she cared. Let me tell you something. That was a lesson learned right there. So guys, here's the thing. I've said this before, I'll say it again. When you lose your emotional self-control, you lose it all. When you lose your emotional self-control, you lose it all. You lose your woman, you lose your business, you lose on YouTube, you lose everything. You lose your shit, you lose it all. And when I say losing your shit, I mean emotional self-control. Now, this is passion. This is not losing it. This is me feeling what I did and owning up to it and learning from it. Thank you, Queen. Cassandra, I'm not trying to get Dana back. I'm not. Let me tell you something, right? Okay. When somebody breaks up with you, this is what I teach people. I've done a lot of work on myself, and I've also studied a lot about this. I've watched other coaches, and this is the best way to handle that. If a woman breaks up with you, you know, let's say she wants to be friends. You got to tell her, listen, I'm not interested in being friends because she might ask you why. Well, because I think you're hot. I enjoy us being intimately close. I like the times we had together. It'd be difficult being friends with you. But hey, if you don't want to be with me anymore, that's fine. I understand. Some things happen. I'm going to let you go. But give me a call if you change your mind. You turn, you walk away, you never look back. You don't call her. You don't text her. You don't email her. You don't reach out to her. She's the one that broke up with you. She's the only one that could bring the offer back to the table, right? If you try to get her back, as a guy, you look like a weak, needy, pathetic little Jamie Lycan theory, for example, right? You don't want to come off like that. If she's the one that broke up with you, she's the only one that can bring it back, right? So no, I've moved on from it, right? Now, have I had women in the past revisit relationships? Yes, and they didn't work. Am I saying, would I be open to revisiting it if it came around? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see what happens at that point. I may be with some other woman, but I'm leaving my options open. I'm taking life by the horns, and I'm living one day at a time. But I'm learning from everything I did in the past, right? I had my stuff together in real life. I just had to get my stuff together out here on YouTube. And now I finally feel I'm in a good enough place on YouTube and in my real life. So whoever comes my way, whether it's someone from the past, if it's meant to be, or someone in the future, then the sky's the limit, right? George, listen, bro. It doesn't matter if this ex was the love of my life or not. Again, it's not my choice of whether it was meant to be in the future or not. That's on her. You see, the person that breaks up with the other person is the only one that can put the offer back on the table. She's the one that broke up with me. Any woman that breaks up with any man is the only one that can put it back on the table. This is what women typically do. When they want to revisit a past relationship, women are sly about this because you know, they don't want to say too much till they know you're single and you're interested, right? So they'll reach out to you. It's called the indirect direct approach. They'll reach out to you and they'll say, "Hey Eli, how you been?" And let's say it's one of my exes, right? "Oh, hey man, great to hear from you. How are things going?" Right? You know? And she might say, "Well, things are going quite well. What about you?" Then she might say, "Well, you know, how are things going in your love life?" Right? "Well, you know, I've gone on some dates, but nothing special. I'm hanging single right now." Right? "Oh, okay." You might say, "Oh, what about yourself?" You know, if she asks you, then you can ask her, right? And if you're texting, right, you want to get it to a phone call as soon as possible, but don't send more texts than she sends you. Hey, you know, say, "Look, what about you? How's your love life been?" You know, "Oh, well, I'm single too." You know, okay. Now, if she's reaching out to you and talking with you, listen, an ex is not going to reach out to you just to say hi. She's trying to get you to realize that she wants to revisit it, right? But she wants you to be the man and recognize that and take charge, right? So after a few texts, I would say, you know, you up for a phone call? It'd be nice to catch up with you, right? Get into the damn phone. And then when you get on the phone, if you were the one that made mistakes and you got on the phone with her, what you want to do is admit your mistakes. You know what? Hey, it's great to hear from you. I owe you an apology, right? Be a effing man about it. There's nothing unmasculine about apologizing for something you did, right? It's a strong thing to do, right? Because most men are too much of a sissy to do it, right? I'd say, hey, look, I made a lot of mistakes. I really enjoyed the time we had together. You're a very special lady, but I screwed up. I was immature. I was insecure. I behaved in ways that I can't believe some of the things I did. And in this case, with this last one, I would say, I got to be honest with you. And looking back, I can't believe you put up with my crap for a year of losing my emotional self-control. That's not who I am. You were right and I was wrong. And I appreciate you for doing what you did, right? When you own up to the woman like that, that's going to make her vagina a little bit, you know how it goes, JB. You know how women are. You know how women are. It's not about being a sissy, but it's not about being an arrogant guy. You got to be a cool dude and say, look, I'm human. I screwed up. I screwed up. When you own up to it like that, that's what's going to get them to want to revisit it, right? Then she might say, wow, I'm really impressed. She might even say, you want to hang out sometime? And then I'd say, I thought you'd never ask. She might say, why? Because I was a big piece of shit back then. Right? Just be cool about it, right? That's the way you handle it, right? I know, that's right. Yeah, I know. It's not right, baby. I know, JB. It's all good. Listen, JB, you have to admit, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but the videos Dana and I did were priceless, man. Like, here's the thing. If and I'm not trying to predict the future, but let's say her and I got back together somehow, just hypothetically speaking, and we started doing those videos again, they would go freaking viral. The Dana Eli videos would go freaking viral. Now, Mabel's no longer around, her dog. A couple months after we split up, I mentioned this in the past, but I don't know if you people know this, people that have been following me for a while. Mabel was put to sleep because she got sick. But let me tell you, yeah, they were great, dude. They were phenomenal. All of them, man. Lots of production went into them. I put a lot of work in those videos, man. But Mabel was great. Like that 60-pound female black lab. Let me tell you something, JB. JB, correct me if I'm wrong. Jamie Lycantheory whines more every day than Dana's, female black lab Mabel did her entire life. Like, I've never met a dude that whines more than a female dog has done her entire life. Mabel was like the coolest dog. She would never whine, ever. And now every so often I would tease her and she would growl at me, but she would growl like under her breath, like a masculine dog would go right, like a male dog with a penis would go right. But she was so Dana's female black lab Mabel was so feminine, like she would just growl under her breath, like dude, I really don't want to bite you. Because you give me so much love and attention, but you're kind of pissing me off. So I'm gonna give you this little snarky under my breath growl, like half feminine growl, right? That's because Jamie is a smaller and less productive than Mabel. Jamie's less productive than Dana's former black lab, Mabel. No, Mabel was a cool dog. Mabel was great. Like, I would cradle Mabel like a lap dog. She was 60 pounds. She was a big dog, but in great shape. I would cradle her, right? And then Dana's daughters would walk by. They'd say, "What are you doing to my dog?" Right? I'm showing her loving. Like, dogs need loving too. This girl needs loving too, right? Right? Like I said, hey, you girls don't sit there and snuggle with her all day. Well, I play with Mabel, but nobody played with Mabel as much as me. And it was funny one time, I remember it was a Monday, and I would stay at her place until Monday afternoon. Then I would drive back for the week and produce my videos. Basically, Dana's bedroom was upstairs, and Mabel's dog bed was in Dana's master bedroom, right? And I would always work like Monday mornings from Dana's place, right? And then I would head back home. Well, when I would leave, Mabel would expect me to be there, right? Because I was there for like 3 days, right? So what would Mabel do? Like halfway up the stairs, Mabel, on the days I wasn't there throughout the day and Dana was running her business, Mabel would stay at the top of the stairs just waiting for me, like halfway down the middle part of the stairs. And then, Dana would call me before she'd go to bed, and she goes, "What have you done to my dog?" I'm like, "What do you mean, what have I done to your dog? I give your dog lots of love. I buy her I used to buy Mabel this big bully stick, right? It was like a $20 bully stick, like 3 feet long, like a Chewy for a dog. She loved that, right? So I would spoil the hell out of this dog, right? Give it lots of loving, right? And I gave her too much loving, more than they gave her. Don't get me wrong, they love their dog, but I gave the dog lots of loving, right? So Dana's like, "What have you done to my dog?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like Mabel's been like sitting at the middle section of the stairs, like waiting for you to come upstairs to hang out with her. I'm like, "You got to be kidding me." You're basically saying that I've spoiled your dog shitless to the point of where your dog thinks like I'm coming back like this evening, but I'm not coming back till Friday. And Dana would make fun of Mabel's voice and say, "Hey, where did that guy go? Where does he go during the week? What happens? He comes on the weekends and then he just ditches us," right? It was pretty funny, but anyway, James Pink says, "I've got to agree. I haven't seen any whine as much as L Theory. I truly believe he's a 36-year-old with the mindset of an infant begging for attention." George says, "Would you ever consider kicking his frail?" George, I'm not about violence, bro. James Pink says there's no need to do it. He's kicking his own butt. Yep. JB Gunner TV Underground says, "If I doze off, good night, Eli. I appreciate what you've done and look forward to tomorrow night. I'm still listening, but I may crash. I took Tylenol PM." Oh, yeah, that'll knock you out. JB, thanks for stopping by. Thank you for all the super chats. We'll take care of you tomorrow night. We'll get you a good group there. Have your Cash App ready or whatever else you're using, and we'll show you some love tomorrow night. I'm going to get on out of here, folks, as well. It's time to wrap this show. It's we're at 2 hours and 9 minutes. I'm very grateful and thankful for what happened today and what's been happening lately. You're absolutely right, American Dream. There's been a big shift. I feel it, and things are heading in the right direction. And I want to continue, bringing more people together, even from the past, or bring new people in that really want to participate. With some real great conversations, some great topics, some great life principles. If we do things on JB Gunner's channel or channels with American Dream, we can do some political topics as well. I used to not like to talk about the political stuff. I've kind of stopped talking about the political stuff for the time being. I was talking a lot about it during the election time. I don't have a problem talking about it. In the past, I did. Kind of like, talking about, being a God-loving man. Initially, I wouldn't talk about that, but I've grown to learn that just being yourself out here on YouTube and not worrying about offending one or two people is going to get you a lot further. And even if you believe in God and one or two people don't, they're still going to be more than likely respectful to you, right? Good night. Look forward to future streams. Hit us with a good closeout song. Hit us with the Helix. Blue Ball Brandon, it hit you with the Helix, dude. Hit you with the Helix. Is this what you want, bro? Is that what you want, dude? You want to hear it for a second, bro? I'll just stay quiet. I'll just drink some of my Monster. All right, we'll wrap it up with the Helix, right? You know what, Gunner? If they ask for it, you give it to them, right? Oh, boy. Yeah. All right. All right. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Thank you to JB Gunner for stopping by. Thank you again for all the super chats, the $49.99 and the rest of them. Thank you to American Dream for becoming a channel member on another channel, American Dream 1.5, and for your $2 super chat. And thank you to everyone else for being here. Thank you to the moderators. You continue to do a great job here. Lewis Fuller, Queen Helen Casey. Hey, Information Man Show, peace to you. How you doing, bro? Just saw you, man. We're about to wrap things up. I was requested to play Double Helix by Ethan Mixel, which was a song I used to play on my former channel when I used to run a show called Coach Eli Live. People love that song. American Dream 1.5 says, you rock, Coach Eli. Thank you, American Dream 1.5. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you to James Pink. Thank you to... who else was here? Cassandra of Troy, and anyone else that I missed. Tomorrow night, live on Gunner's World Channel, formerly known as #Gun Squad, at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. American Dream and I are going to be joining JB Gunner for a show that will have questions without limits. I will share that on my community tab shortly after the show ends. So, with that being said, have yourselves a great night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye now. We're out. Peace out. Peace out. Woo.